My name is Maxine. I am 24 years old. I carried a child for people who left me when my body began to change. For many months I spoke to no one about it. I walked, I worked, I ate, and I slept, but my real life was inside my chest, moving slowly. I was born in a small room behind a shop. My mother sold fried bread in the morning. The oil smell stayed in our clothes all day. We counted coins at night and smiled when we had enough for rice and salt. When I was a child, I believed this was normal. When I grew older, I learned that normal can still hurt. Every morning, I woke before the sun. I swept the floor of the house where I worked. I washed cups, wiped the table, and folded clothes that were softer than anything I owned. I did not dream of love. I dreamed of rest. I dreamed of a room with a door that closed well and a bed that did not shake when I turned. I dreamed of not worrying about money for one whole week. Then, the couple came into my life. They were kind in a careful way. They spoke nicely to me. The woman smiled with her lips, but her eyes looked tired. The man thanked me for bringing tea even when it was my job. One day, they asked me to sit with them. The couple told me they could not have a child. The woman's fingers were shaking. The man spoke about hospitals and tests. These were big words for me. I only understood the small words: baby, help, payment. They said they would take care of me. They said I would live in a better place during the pregnancy. They said I would have enough money to change my life. No one had ever spoken to me about my life, as if it could change. That night, I lay on my thin mattress and watched the ceiling. I thought of my mother's tired back. I thought of the small room that always smelled of oil. I thought of a bed that did not shake. I said yes. After that, my days became quiet. There were hospital visits and papers I could not read. The woman held my hand when the nurse spoke too fast. I told myself she was good. I told myself she was good. When they moved me to a small apartment, I cried when I closed the door. It was the first time I had a key that was only mine. I walked from wall to wall, touching everything. The bed was big. The window opened to the street. I could hear people talking and laughing below. It felt like I was part of the world. The couple brought me food, fruit, milk, eggs. The woman watched me eat. She asked if I was comfortable. I nodded every time. I wanted to be the right choice for them. When the doctor told us I was pregnant, the man shook my hand as if I had done something great. The woman cried and held my shoulders. Her tears fell on my dress. I did not know where to look. I felt proud and small at the same time. Slowly, my body began to change. My dresses became tight. I walked with more care. At night, I lay on my back and put my hand on my stomach. I whispered to the child. I told the child that I was only a house for a short time. I told the child that the real mother was kind and waiting. The days moved like this for a while, simple, gentle. I waited for their visits. I liked when the woman brushed my hair and spoke about baby clothes. She showed me small socks and tiny shirts. Then one week they did not come. I told myself they were busy. I cleaned the apartment even when it was already clean. I folded my clothes. I stood at the window and watched the street. The next week, the man came alone. He did not smile. The man said the woman was not feeling well. He left money on the table and touched my shoulder in a quick way. His hand did not stay. After that, no one came for many days. I went to the hospital alone for my checkup. I sat between other women who held their own husbands' hands. Mine stayed on my knees. When the nurse asked about the baby's parents, I said they were busy. One afternoon, the woman called. Her voice was strange. She told me she was pregnant. I did not understand at first. I said congratulations because it was the right word. She did not say much more. She said they needed time. She said they would talk later. Later did not come. The fruit stopped coming. The milk finished. I began to count coins again. I sold the extra blanket. I walked to the market with slow steps because my back hurt. The sellers looked at my stomach and then at my face. I saw questions in their eyes. At night, the child moved inside me. I put my hand there and felt 2 lives in my body. One life that was not wanted anymore, and one life that had nowhere to go. I waited for a message that did not arrive. One morning, I was sitting on the bed trying to tie my shoes. I could not bend well. My breath was short. I looked at my stomach, round and full. I understood that no one was coming back for this child. I sat there for a long time. I felt the child move again. For the first time, I did not speak to the child as a stranger. I did not say, "You will go to your real mother." I said, "We are here." After that day, my steps changed. I stopped waiting by the window. I stopped saving the fruit bowl for their visits. I began to speak to the child as if it could hear me. I told the child about my mother's fried bread. I told the child about the small room behind the shop. I told the child that I did not know everything, but I would stay. Work became harder. Some houses did not want a pregnant cleaner. I found small tasks, washing plates in the back of a cafe, folding clothes in a shop where the owner did not ask questions. My feet hurt, my back burned, but when I returned to the apartment, I felt peace. Sometimes I thought about the couple. I imagined the woman's round stomach, the man's careful smile. I did not feel anger. In the last month, walking was slow. The stairs felt like a mountain. The neighbors began to greet me. An old woman from the next room brought me soup. She did not ask for my story. She only said I was strong. When the day came, it was early. The pain started like a tight belt around my body. I held the wall and breathed. There was no one to call by name. Only the old woman heard me and came. The hospital bed was small. I held the sheet and thought of my mother. The child came into the world with a loud cry. The nurse placed the child on my chest. I looked at the face and saw nothing of the couple. I saw only a child struggling for breath. My heart moved in a way I had never felt before. I said, "I am here." The days after were hard. Milk, sleep, cries in the night. My body felt tired, but my arms learned the shape of the child. Sometimes I still thought about the life that was promised. But these thoughts became lighter. I named the child Hope. Not because I believed in miracles, but because every morning we woke up and continued. Now I sweep the floor of my own room. The bed still does not shake when I turn. A small crib stands near it. I am still Maxine. I am still 24. My life is not easy, but it is mine. And I have learned that a heart is like a room. People enter. Some leave without closing the door. But one day you stand up. You close the door yourself, and you see that the room is still standing. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.